Welcome to Hong Kong Brief. The content of the briefing includes: BNP Paribas hopes China wealth management arm to break even by 2026. Vantage Data Centers readies for AI demand in Southeast Asia. Hong Kong court hears government's appeal to ban protest song. Jimmy Lai's landmark trial is a test of Hong Kong's courts. Earthquake kills more than 100 in northwestern China. BNP Paribas hopes China wealth management arm to break even by 2026. Nikkei Asia. BNP Paribas Asset Management is aiming for its China wealth management venture to break even by the end of 2026. The company has warned that risk-averse investors and a lack of product differentiation are creating challenges for foreign banks in China's multi-trillion-dollar market. BNP Paribas ABC Wealth, a joint venture between BNP Paribas Asset Management and Agricultural Bank of China, ABC, is relying on ABC's 862 million client accounts to sell its products. China's ongoing property crisis is pushing investors towards safer assets such as bank deposits, reducing the flow of funds into the wealth management market. Vantage Data Centers readies for AI demand in Southeast Asia. Nikkei Asia. Vantage Data Centers is preparing to meet rising demand for data from sophisticated AI customers in Asia, according to Raymond Tong, president of the company's Asia-Pacific business. Tong said the company's design and construction teams are starting to factor in the change in requirements for its new facilities in Kuala Lumpur, given the rapid development and adoption of generative AI. Vantage entered Asia in 2021 after acquiring two companies with facilities in Malaysia, Hong Kong, Japan, and Australia. Hong Kong court hears government's appeal to ban protest song. Bloomberg. Hong Kong's government is making a renewed attempt to ban the protest song "Glory to Hong Kong" after its previous application was dismissed. The government is appealing the court's refusal to grant an injunction in July, which would have made it illegal for anyone with criminal intent to perform or broadcast the song. This case is seen as another test of political freedoms in Hong Kong following the imposition of a national security law by Beijing in 2020. The government's appeal comes after a series of legal victories against publishers and journalists accused of endangering Chinese national security, which have had a chilling effect on Hong Kong's freedom of expression. Jimmy Lai's landmark trial is a test of Hong Kong's courts. BBC. Jimmy Lai, a prominent pro-democracy figure in Hong Kong, has gone on trial for treason after spending 3.5 years in jail. Lai, who is known for his criticism of Beijing, has been charged with collusion with foreign forces and is facing charges under the sweeping National Security Law, NSL. The NSL, which was imposed by China in 2020, has been used to target pro-democracy activists and silence dissent in Hong Kong. Critics argue that Hong Kong's legal system has been eroded and that defendants are denied fair trials. Earthquake kills more than 100 in northwestern China. New York Times. An earthquake in northwestern China has killed at least 111 people and injured more than 200 others in two provinces, Chinese state media reported on Tuesday. The quake struck Jishishan County in Gansu Province late on Monday night. The province reported that 100 people had died, according to the state-run Xinhua news agency. 11 people in the city of Haidong in neighboring Qinghai province were also killed. The quake, which struck at 11:59 p.m., had a magnitude of 5.9, according to the United States Geological Survey, though it was measured at 6.2 by the China Earthquake Administration. Asia shares to track U.S. rally, BOJ in spotlight, markets wrap. Bloomberg. Equity futures in Asia indicate a small gain following Wall Street's rally. This comes as traders largely ignored tempered messaging from Federal Reserve officials. In Japan, the Bank of Japan is expected to end its two-day policy today, with economists predicting that April is the most likely time for a change. In China, the CSI 300 index is set for its third straight annual loss, which would be the longest streak of yearly decline since the gauge's inception in 2002. Lionel Messi to have Newell's Old Boys reunion with Inter Miami friendly in 2024. Yahoo! Inter Miami will host a friendly match against Newell's Old Boys, the Argentine club where Lionel Messi and coach Tata Martino started their careers. The match will take place on February 15, 2022 at Inter Miami's DRV-PNK Stadium in Florida. Tickets will be available to the public from December 14. UK demands access to Jimmy Lai as West criticizes Hong Kong publisher's trial. South China Morning Post. The UK government has demanded consular access to Hong Kong media tycoon Jimmy Lai Ching, who is currently facing trial on national security charges. The UK government has reiterated that Lai is a British citizen and has expressed frustration at Hong Kong authorities' failure to recognize this. Numerous Western governments called for Lai's immediate release, and representatives from at least 10 consulates were present in court. China considers anyone of Chinese heritage born in China to be a Chinese national and does not recognize other nationalities. China's aviation sector to aim higher after the C919. SCMP opinion. China's first homemade passenger jet, the C919 single-aisle plane, made a low-level flyover of Victoria Harbour in Hong Kong at the weekend. The event showcased China's progress towards developing a fully independent aircraft industry and establishing itself as a competitor to Boeing and Airbus. However, the C919 is still dependent on foreign-made parts, including the engine. China's government hopes that the gradual expansion of its aircraft industry will follow a similar path to that of its high-speed railway technology. The next step will be to build a larger, twin-aisle aircraft to challenge foreign dominance of China's market. Tuesday briefing, BP paused Red Sea oil shipments. New York Times. Oil prices have surged after BP announced it had stopped sending tankers through the Red Sea due to increasing danger posed by the Houthi armed group, which has been attacking ships with drones and missiles. The Houthis have said their intention is to prevent Israeli ships from sailing the Red Sea until Israel stops its war on Hamas. Major shipping companies, including Evergreen, Hapag-Lloyd, Maersk, and Mediterranean Shipping, have also temporarily stopped sending vessels through areas of the Red Sea. There are fears of further disruption to shipments through the Suez Canal as a result. Gerwyn Price keen to keep Alexander Palace crowd on side after easing through. The Independent. Gerwyn Price, a former winner of the PDC World Darts Championship, believes he can win over the crowd at Alexander Palace after comfortably advancing to the third round. Price has had a troubled relationship with the fans in the past and wore ear protectors during a match last year. However, with the crowd supporting him in his recent victory over Connor Scott, Price is hopeful of more support in the future. Hong Kong's Man Lok Leung also impressed with a comeback win against Dutchman John van Veen, while Martin Lukeman and Thibault Tricol also secured victories. China's desire for a fair debate on its economy must not turn into a purge. SCMP opinion. The Chinese leadership has pledged to improve its propaganda on the economy in 2024 and will promote a picture that the country's future is bright based on fair opinions about China's status and prospects. This emphasis on public opinion management is not hard to understand. Although the country has kept economic growth on track and avoided a major economic crisis, public discussions about the Chinese economy are nevertheless peppered with words like peaked and collapse. Jimmy Lai trial must reflect judicial independence, not political pressure. SCMP opinion. The trial of media tycoon Jimmy Lai in Hong Kong will put the city's legal system and judicial independence under scrutiny. Lai, the owner of the now-defunct Apple Daily newspaper, is facing charges of sedition and collusion with foreign forces. The trial is expected to last 80 days and has garnered international attention. The outcome of the trial will be significant for Hong Kong's international profile and reputation. It is crucial that due process is respected and the court is allowed to carry out its duty without pressure. The trial will test the independence of Hong Kong's judiciary and its ability to uphold the rule of law. Evening update: Pope Francis approves blessings for same-sex couples if the rituals don't resemble marriage. The Globe and Mail. Pope Francis has approved a document allowing priests to bless same-sex couples. The document states that people seeking God's love and mercy should not be subject to exhaustive moral analysis in order to receive it. The document elaborates on a letter Francis sent to 2 conservative cardinals in October, in which he suggested that such blessings could be offered under certain circumstances if they did not confuse the ritual with the sacrament of marriage. The Vatican has long opposed same-sex marriage, as it views marriage as a union between a man and a woman. Some LGBTQ advocates have warned that the latest move indicates that the Church considers gay couples to be inferior to heterosexual couples. Sebastian hasn't seen his media mogul father in 3 years. Photos from a Hong Kong prison horrified him. ABC. The trial of Jimmy Lai, the founder of Hong Kong's pro-democracy newspaper Apple Daily, has begun in Hong Kong. Lai has been in prison since December 2020, and his trial is expected to last around 80 days. He has been charged under the national security law and is facing a potential life sentence. Lai's trial is seen as a test of Hong Kong's judicial system, which is supposed to remain independent from Beijing's influence until 2047. The trial is being closely watched by foreign governments and global advocacy groups, who believe that the national security law is being used as a weapon against critics and journalists. Nearly 30 journalists and press freedom advocates have been prosecuted under the law, and 12 are still in prison. Several pro-democracy advocates based overseas have also had bounties placed on their heads by the Hong Kong government. Lai's son, Sebastian Lai, hopes that increasing international pressure will help secure his father's release. That's all for today's news update from the 6 Degrees World. I'm Dr. Six, your witty and observant host. Let's quickly recap the highlights before we dive into some analysis. First up, BNP Paribas hopes its China wealth management venture will break even by the end of 2026, but challenges such as risk-averse investors and a lack of product differentiation are making it difficult for foreign banks in China's market. Next, Vantage Data Centers is preparing for the rising demand for data from AI customers in Southeast Asia, as the company adapts its facilities to meet the requirements of generative AI. In Hong Kong, the government is making another attempt to ban the protest song "Glory to Hong Kong," which has become a symbol of resistance against Beijing's influence. This case is seen as another test of political freedoms in the city. Prominent pro-democracy figure Jimmy Lai is on trial in Hong Kong for treason, facing charges under the national security law. Critics argue that Hong Kong's legal system has been eroded and defendants are denied fair trials. In a tragic event, an earthquake in northwestern China has claimed the lives of over 100 people and injured hundreds more. Moving on to the markets, equity futures in Asia are set for a small gain following Wall Street's rally, while the Bank of Japan's policy decision is in the spotlight. Football fans will be excited to hear that Lionel Messi will have a reunion with his former club, Newell's Old Boys, in a friendly match hosted by Inter Miami in 2024. The UK government has demanded consular access to Jimmy Lai, a British citizen currently on trial in Hong Kong. Western governments have called for Lai's release, criticizing the lack of recognition of his British citizenship. China's aviation sector is making progress with the C919 passenger jet, but challenges remain as the industry aims to challenge foreign dominance in the market. In other news, BP has paused oil shipments through the Red Sea due to increasing danger from the Houthi armed group, causing concerns about disruptions to shipping through the Suez Canal. In sports, Gerwyn Price is hoping to win over the crowd at Alexandra Palace after advancing to the 3rd round of the PDC World Darts Championship. Now, let's dive into some analysis. It's clear that foreign banks in China's wealth management market are facing challenges due to risk-averse investors and a lack of product differentiation. This highlights the need for these banks to adapt their strategies and offer unique products and services to attract Chinese investors. The ongoing property crisis in China is also impacting the wealth management market, as investors seek safer assets like bank deposits. The rising demand for data from AI customers in Southeast Asia is an indication of the region's growing focus on AI technology. Vantage Data Centers' readiness to meet this demand shows the importance of infrastructure development to support the growth of AI in the region. As AI continues to advance, we can expect to see more companies adapting their facilities and services to cater to the specific needs of AI applications. The Hong Kong government's renewed attempt to ban the protest song "Glory to Hong Kong" is a concerning development for political freedoms in the city. It raises questions about the extent to which freedom of expression is being curtailed under the national security law. The outcome of this case will have implications for the future of dissent and protest in Hong Kong. Jimmy Lai's trial is another example of the erosion of Hong Kong's legal system and the use of the national security law to target pro-democracy activists. The lengthy trial and the charges brought against Lai raise concerns about the fairness and independence of Hong Kong's judiciary. It is crucial that due process is respected and that Lai is given a fair trial. The earthquake in northwestern China is a tragic event that highlights the vulnerability of communities to natural disasters. It is a reminder of the importance of disaster preparedness and response in ensuring the safety and well-being of individuals in affected areas. In the markets, the small gain in equity futures in Asia following Wall Street's rally indicates optimism among traders. However, the Bank of Japan's policy decision will be closely watched, as any changes could have implications for the broader market. The reunion between Lionel Messi and his former club, Newell's Old Boys, will undoubtedly be an exciting event for football fans. It's a chance for Messi to reconnect with his roots and for fans to witness the reunion of two football greats. The demand for consular access to Jimmy Lai highlights the international concern over his trial and the treatment of individuals facing national security charges in Hong Kong. It underscores the need for the international community to continue advocating for human rights and the rule of law in Hong Kong. China's desire to improve its propaganda on the economy in 2024 reflects the importance the leadership places on shaping public opinion. However, it is important that this emphasis on public opinion management does not turn into a purge of dissenting voices or a suppression of fair and critical opinions. The approval by Pope Francis for priests to bless same-sex couples under certain circumstances is a significant development that signals a more inclusive approach from the Catholic Church. However, concerns remain that this move may still be seen as treating gay couples as inferior to heterosexual couples. The trial of Jimmy Lai is a test for Hong Kong's legal system and its ability to uphold the rule of law. The international attention and scrutiny on this trial highlight the importance of an independent judiciary in Hong Kong and the need for due process to be respected. That's all for today's news update. I hope you enjoyed the witty and insightful analysis. Now it's your turn to share your thoughts. What do you make of these news stories? Do you have any burning questions? Let's keep the discussion going. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6 due brief via email.